All right, then. So now what we have to do is we have to move on to the next question, which is going to be given two arrays that are sorted, which is already sorted. So we have to merge them and we have to sort them. So basically, we have to do two different tasks over here. First, we need to merge, then we need to sort it out. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy this, and over here, I'm going to delete everything. Then I'm just going to bring the multi command line. All right, so here we go. So first, what we have to do, we have to merge it, then we have to sort it. So let's write a function const sort data, which is going to have a function. So that function, it's basically going to carry on two different parameters. One, the array 1, and the array 2, two different arrays. Now we have to initialize the the index values and everything. So I'm just going to say let I equals to 0, j equals to 0 equals to. Okay, so we have two different values, I and j. Then we have to say let merged array, which is in case it's going to be an empty array. Okay, so now I'm going to use the while loop. So let's say while I less than array1 dot length and j less than array2 dot length. Okay, so yep, open it. We have to open it. So if the array of I, if the array of I I'm sorry, if array of I of array of 2 of j, then I just need to say merged array dot push, open it, array of 1 of I. Else I'm just going to increment the I plus plus here. Otherwise I'm just going to say merged array of dot push here array 2 of j value. Okay, so now we have both of them. Then we need to add the remaining elements if I do have anything, because if it is equal in size, it doesn't matter. If here I have 4 elements and here if I have 3 elements, I need to push the remaining elements, right? So in order to do that, I'm just going to say while I less than array1 dot length, open it. So we just have to say merged array dot push, open it, array 1 of I value. Okay, then I just have to say I plus plus. Right after here, I just have to do the same stuff while j less than array2 dot length. If I have anything over there, I just have to say merged array dot push. I just have to say array2 of j, and then j plus plus. So that's the reason we use the while loop, to keep the I and j outside of this block, so we can have the last index which is used inside this I and j. So if in case, let's say here it's processed until 3, the third index, if I have one more index, so I and value will still carries on the last index over here, because that's a block function scope, not the block scope. So using that, we can return the, if the index is greater than, if the number of arrays which we have supplied, if it is not equal in terms of indexes, so somehow any one of the array will have remaining items. So I need to push that remaining items. So I have to check on both the array. If I have, say, so if I still have any elements in that, I just have to push it. That's what we are doing over here. So return merge array. So I just have to say console.log sort data. So I just have to supply these two as an array. So let's clear it and let's run it. Index.js. Hit it. Okay, so we're having an issue. So what's the issue over here? So I and j perfectly fine. Merged array, that's also fine. And array 1 dot length and j is equals to array 2 dot length. If array 1 of I and array 2 of j, merge array dot push array of 1 of I plus plus. Oops, I forgot to do the j plus plus. That's the issue. All right, so there we go. See, now we have the values as sorted 0, 3, 4, 4, then 6, 30, and 31. It's sorted completely, right? So this logic, it's working perfectly even if I have the unequal indexes in our specific index, right? So this is the more cleaner way. If you're using for loop, it is not going to work because both of the indexes are not same. So at this point of situation, you just have to go with this while loop only. You don't have any other options because this while loop will guarantee compare the values and add the values until the equal number of terms indexes which we do have in both of the arrays. So here I have 3 and here also I have 3, so it will check the until the 3 indexes, but in the first array I do have one more index, so I have to push this remaining index manually. So that's the reason I just have checked the while loop. So if you are checking with the index number, of course I should keep the index out of this block, so that's the reason we just use it as a let. So let will maintain the last index which I do have in that. Then I can using the based on that value, I can push the remaining index. If I have in the A or B, it doesn't matter, it will push that value, right? So think about it. If you able to write this thing in a single, right, in a single line of code. So let's try to do that. But anyways, it's not going to be more optimal, but let's try to do that. So let's say const sorted data is equals to, I'm gonna get two different arrays inside this functions as a parameter. Then I'm just going to use this concat function. Concat. So basically this function, it's going to concat two different strings, something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna say b, then I'm just going to sort it out by using the default built-in function, sort function. So how I'm going to do, I'm just going to extract the x and y out of it, the first two values, then I'm just going to compare it, which is going to be x minus y. This, you have to note it, the speed, the spread and concat plus the sort approach, it's not the optimal for very large arrays because it doesn't leverage with the pre-sorted natures. So the while loop approach above is the more performant for the ON operation. This is not optimal, but for the sorted, the small list of array values, it's okay to use it. Let's check it out, whether it is giving the same output or not. See, it is giving us the exactly the same output. All these things, this will work even if it is a very larger array, but this, it's not a more optimal one for a very large set of array. But in this case, it's okay. You have to mention that point because here, what's the time complexity that is happening? O of n, right? So we are using a loop and we are comparing the values inside two different loops. So that's the time complexity. When you're working with a larger number of arrays, of course it is going to rise at time complexity, which is going to be not optimal for a large set of arrays. You have to mention that in the interview round. All right, so in this case everything's worked fine, so we can keep this one. All right, so let's move on to the next question.